back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be telling you a story about how I lost 20 kilos. So basically, let's get on with it. Rewind back to August last year. I was on a larger ticket, if you know what I mean. I weighed 86 kilos, and on the BMI NHS checker on the website, I was literally, like, you got the green, the orange and the red section, and I was well into the red. That's when I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be that fat kid in college. Like, I'm going to do this, like, I'm going to lose weight for next year. So I decided, okay, let's just cut down what we're eating. And I was on holiday at the time I decided to do this, and there was a gym in the hotel, which was really handy. So I started like using the treadmill, and I started using the stairs instead of the lift, and it's just little things like that really do help. So when I got home, I decided I needed to get something sorted where I would keep up this weight loss program that I started on holiday. So I decided I was going to get a Fitbit. I used my mum's Fitbit because she had one for like 2 years and never used it. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to use it. So I borrowed hers for a few months. I started using it late August, and then I used it up until Christmas, where I got my own one. And I got the Fitbit Charge 2. And honestly, I really recommend Fitbits just in general. Make sure you get one which has a heart rate sensor on, which they all do other than the very first charge. So get the Charge HR or the Charge 2 if you don't want to spend tons of money, but you also want something to help you lose weight. And the good thing about Fitbits are that they basically, you sync them with your phone and the app. You can use the app to count your water intake, to count your calories, like what you're eating. It also tracks sleep, and that's quite nice to look at. So here, and you also track your weight, and you get like a graph. If I show you that. So here, that's like a graph. And yes, that's a graph of the last 3 months, I think that was. And you track your calories in. So here, you track your food. So see here, you go down and you basically see everything. And blue is like under eating a little bit. Green is in the zone, but pink is overeating. I just want to say, do not worry if you are slightly in the pink or in the blue, because that green in the zone like area is within 100 calories of the goal, and it's really hard to get in there. So if you're slightly overeating, like a few calories over, don't worry about it. If you're slightly under eating, if you're a few calories out of that in the zone area, do not worry, it's totally fine. What you do is, when you get it, you sync, to set it up, you sync the Fitbit with the app. You put in your details, you put your date of birth, your gender, you put in your height and your weight, and then you say whether you want to maintain weight, lose weight or gain weight. So if you do, so once you put in that goal, it'll give you 4 options. It'll give you a 250 calorie deficit, 500 calorie deficit, 750 calorie deficit, and 1,000 calorie deficit. And basically they are just how Fitbit works out how many calories you're allowed to eat in the day depending on what you've done. So if you ran a marathon and you burnt 3,000 calories, it would take off the deficit that you wanted if you want to lose weight, and it would be like, and if you chose 750, it'd be like, eat 2,250 calories. And that is the maximum that you should be eating. Just remember, do not use this to undereat at all or get into a really bad mindset. It's only to help you lose weight. It's not to take over your whole life. I do not recommend using a 250 calorie deficit, because the Fitbit is, they say, about 10% inaccurate. So it tells you you've either burned 10% too many or 10% too few calories. So take it with a pinch of salt. So I would start with a 500 calorie deficit, and that is the way you're going to actually start seeing results that you can fully take notice of. And I would say that's kind of easy-ish way of starting. But then if you want to lose weight a bit quicker, select the 750 calorie deficit. I had this on for a few months from about January to March, and it's a step down from 1,000, which is quite good. But right now, I'm happy with my weight. I am 66 kilos, and I'm happy with that, and I want to maintain that weight. I'm on a 500 calorie deficit at the moment, just to make sure it's kind of accurate. And also you put in like a serving of something, but you may accidentally give yourself a bit more than a serving, or a bit less than a serving. So your whole measurements are going to be a little bit inaccurate, but it's just, I have that to basically get rid of the 10% and get rid of my inaccuracies putting it on. You can't help it. Like, I put literally everything in there, but you do make mistakes. For example, cereal, if you see on the boxes of cereals, they say per bowl, open bracket 30 grams. 30 grams of cereal is not that much. Like, you'd fill a bowl and you could easily double it. So when you put a serving in, you're not actually eating only 150 calories per serving, you're actually eating nearly 300. And then you've got to remember putting the milk in as well, and that adds calories. So don't worry, you're never going to be totally accurate with this. But it's really helpful, and also because it's hot at the moment, and I know a lot of people forget to drink, including me. Sometimes I get to the end of a day and I've had only 1 glass of water, and that's not healthy. But you can track your water on the app as well, and it's really good to just make sure that you're drinking enough. It also gives you a graph of your weight over time. So it gives you your starting point, and if you've gone up, it makes a graph so you can see what you're doing. It also gives you a graph going down if that's how you're doing it, and all you do is weigh yourself. You don't even have to get the Fitbit scales because they cost so much. Just use normal scales and put in the reading on the app, and they're really good. And it also does a weight trend thing on what you've been eating, or like your weight going up and down. It gives you like a trend on what's likely to happen next, so you can see exactly where you're going to be. So you can either step it up or step it down depending on what you want to be, when you want to be it. I had a lot of weight to lose, and I wanted to see results quick, so I really went in with it with 1,000 calorie deficit, and it is really hard, like, to get into it, because you get to the end of the day, like, that's not enough, but it is, because the amount of crisps, sweets, fizzy drinks, whatever that you're going to be eating, basically just, it's so much. And honestly, the worst food that you can have, in my opinion, is crisps. They are just disgusting. Like, I used to eat loads of crisps, but I tell you, crisps, it's really weird. You eat them continually for years and they taste fine. Like, they're literally a craving food. Like, you get addicted to them. You stop them for as little as even a month or two, and you have one, and they taste so weird. They literally taste like greasy little cuttings of potato, which is just covered in oil and fat, and they've got a really disgusting taste, actually. So I challenge you right now. Basically, I challenge you to go a whole month without eating crisps from now. So you try and restrain yourself from eating them, and then eat one a month's time and see what they taste like. I didn't eat a crisp from August to December, and I ate one in December and nearly threw up, honestly. It was disgusting. So I think a month will be fine, but if not, just, they do taste disgusting, take my word for it. Don't eat any crisps at all, like, even if it's just a tiny bit, because otherwise you will ruin the challenge. Like, you have to go cold turkey on the crisps, because otherwise it's not going to give you the same disgusting impact otherwise, if you've kind of still gone with it and eaten them. You should also be eating food, if you're going to eat less, you should be eating better food. So you shouldn't be eating 1,800 calories a day in crisps and sweets and fizzy drinks and chocolate. You should be eating that in protein and carby foods. Not too many carbs, but carbs are a large part of your diet. And another good thing with Fitbit is it cuts up your calories into percentage from carbs, fat and protein. Also beware, you get double the calories from fat as you do from protein. So if you were to eat something with 8 grams of protein and 4 grams of fat, the calories you get from each is 50-50. Okay? So do not be confused by that. So really the best things you can eat for high protein, low fat is either chicken breast, just plain chicken breast, no batter, breadcrumbs, anything, or corn. And corn is really good. It's got slightly less protein than chicken, however, it's got no fat at all in it. So it's kind of like you may be getting 12 grams per like chunk of corn and 30 grams protein per chunk of chicken, but you may get 5 grams fat in the chicken and literally nothing of fat in the corn. So it's kind of like, how much protein do you want? And also, are you a vegetarian? Can you eat chicken and all that stuff? So it's just about getting the right proportions of stuff, because protein is so much better for you than fat and carbohydrates. So you should be eating plenty of protein-rich foods, which include ham, chicken, corn, baked beans, lentils. Milk has quite a bit of protein in as well. And with milk as well, do not go with the red zero fat milk. That is the worst milk for you, because in their process of taking out all of the fat, they also take out all of the fat soluble vitamins, because to get the vitamins in, they have to be in the fat. And by taking the fat out, you're taking the vitamins. So you're getting literally nothing from that. You may be like, oh yeah, it's only 5 calories a glass, brilliant. Or, oh look, there's no fat in here. However, there's also nothing good in there. It's literally white water. The best one is semi-skimmed. It takes out about half of the fat, but leaves in all of the protein and most of the vitamins, because they just move on to other fat globules. And globules is a real word, okay? Semi-skimmed milk is the best milk that you can get. Also, you can try almond milk, and because it's from nuts, you get a lot of protein in there. Soya milk as well, I think that's quite good. So yeah, but depending on what you want to eat, whether you're vegan, whether you're doing like a no animal produce thing or whatever, or whether you just don't like milk and like soya milk or almond milk more, it's all depending on you. So basically do whatever you think works best for you. Do not take my words and think it's me telling you to eat like literally nothing. Do not do that, it's unhealthy. Skipping meals as well is unhealthy. Like, I've ended up skipping some meals in the holidays, but that is only because I've literally slept through breakfast and woken up at 12. And by then I'm kind of like, okay, I'll just wait a bit for lunch. Do not actively skip meals, because it is unhealthy for you, okay? You have to have breakfast, lunch and dinner. And you should be eating healthy for them. It should not be breakfast, oh yeah, 300 calories of sugary cereal with full fat milk. Lunch should not be chicken nuggets and chips from McDonald's. Dinner should not be a takeaway pizza and you've just fit it in your calories, but all of that is pretty fatty, to be honest. Like, there's a bit of protein in the chicken and that is it. Okay, so eat well. And it also depends on what you want to do. If you want to slim down, then eat literally no fat at all. If you want to build muscle, most of your calories should come from protein. And if you're just not sure, just watch your calories in general. And rule of thumb, no more than 30% of your daily calories should come from fat. Like, if you're a bit over, like 32, 33, don't worry about it. But you should be aiming to be under 30% of your daily calories from fat. And that's another good thing about the Fitbit app, because it breaks it down. You can clearly see what's coming from it, and then you can identify the foods which are causing your percentage of calories from fat to spike, and you can cut them out or lower them. And honestly, if you do struggle with crisps, do not buy them, because just don't have them in the house and then there's no temptation. Crisps are a really bad like binge food, because you sit there with a big share bag and literally you eat a few and then you eat more and then you eat more, and instead of going through one serving, which you think you've done, oh, it's only 100 calories, you've actually gone through 3, and then you're in, oh god, now we're in the 300s or the 400s. So just avoid crisps is all I'm saying. Crisps are worse than chocolate. At least chocolate has some milk in and some like calcium and protein. Like, crisps have no benefit to you whatsoever, and actually they can cut your gums and stuff. So why would you go for a crisp? Like, I just do not understand crisps anymore. Like, I used to love them, but now they are disgusting. I also recommend, as I've already said, getting a Fitbit. They're really good. You can get them second hand on eBay, Amazon, Depop, Facebook, whatever. You can get them for like 20, 25 quid. And all the money that you're saving from not buying sweets and stuff goes into a Fitbit that's helping you. It's so good. And just log your calories, have a goal in mind, and every time you get a craving, think, I don't want to eat this. Not, I can't eat this, or, oh no, I'm on this diet, I'm not allowed to eat this. Think, I do not want this. Because that way, you're keeping strong, you're keeping in control, and you know exactly what you're doing. So that's the end of the video. Please give me a big fat thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Comment below with any video ideas or any questions. If you do need inspiration or you need some support or motivation through this, then please add me on social media and just send me a message or something, because I will respond to messages if you have any, and you want any help with losing weight, because I know it's really hard. I've lost it, but that's because I had a crazy amount of self-control, which I honestly never knew was there. But yeah, if you do need help, then please reach out and get a friend, family member, or even come to me and just ask for it, because we're all there for each other. So follow my social media, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next week.